Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to Disturbing Creations construction channel, and today I'm going to show you how to do an upgrade on your house or a property and put a brand new door in. We put this highly insulated fiberglass door in, which is going to save us money in the long run on heating bills, and it is just a great upgrade to the apartment that we have. The other one you're going to see has a big window where it didn't have much security. But this one's solid, can't be broken into, it's gonna be great. So let's get right into it and show you how to upgrade your property as well. Hey everybody, welcome back to Disturbing Creations, the construction channel. And today we're gonna be changing this door right here. So this is an addition I'm standing in right now that I think was built in the 80s. And we're going to go ahead and make this apartment a new kitchen. We've put a bathroom in over there. There's a bedroom. But really, I want to focus on taking this door out right here and putting a new door in. The door is nice. You can see through it and everything, but we installed this big window over here. So now you don't need this anymore. And I like a little more security. So even though I'm not going to be living here, I own the apartment, so I want to make it a little better for the person that's going to be living here. So we're going to take this molding off, and then we're going to look at the door frame, and I'm going to show you what the outside of the door looks like because I started to take some of the molding off, and I'm going to show you what the new door looks like. So this is the new door. It's made out of fiberglass, so it's very thick. You can't just kick it and break through it. You really gotta take this thing down. But I like to be secure, even though this apartment's in a nice neighborhood. You just want to always be secure. And it has a double lock on it, so you have your door handle lock and your deadbolt lock. And it came in a frame already. I bought it with the frame because I don't like the way the wood looks on the old one. I want to tear everything out new. And this little kick panel. So this is the old door here. We're going to be taking out the locks and replacing them in the new door. But anyone could just bust this out for this and just unlock this with both their hands. So really, what's the point? There's no security here. But in this door, that door lock would be way down here. And this is a 4 times pane glass that you cannot break through. And then your arm isn't long enough even if you did. It's not like right here. You know, so let's look outside and see what we're working with and what we have to do. So this is the outside of the door. There's a little piece of molding here, and I don't know if that was something for the door. They just did that because they thought it was pretty. I ripped this side off. You can see it was never painted underneath, so the door, this has probably been here since the 90s. They painted it red, and then I painted it the gray. So we're gonna rip off this brick molding here first. We're gonna start tearing off this brick molding so we can see where the frame is and pull the door out. Okay, so now I see that there's some damage in the concrete here. When they knocked it in, they didn't do it right. They spiked it in with a nail, and they broke this whole piece of concrete out here. So they put this up to hide that, and then they had to do it on the other side, even though it wasn't broken, just to match it up. So let's take a closer look at what that looks like, that damage. So here, you can see where they put the nail in through the wood here into the foundation. What they should have did was they should have put some kind of caulking or some kind of cement in here and put wood up against it to hold it in, or put like wood here and filled it down in. I think I'm gonna fill that in before I put this back up together. So now that we have the side panel off, we're gonna take this brick molding off. Okay, so this is the old brick molding. And it doesn't look that bad. It's not rotten or anything, but it looks kind of nasty up top, so I'm just gonna change it and put some new. This is actually wood, but we're gonna be putting AZAC in, so it's one time and it's done, and it never rots, and you never have to change it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side now. I showed you guys how to do this side. So now we're on the inside of the door. Thank God, it's a little warmer in here. And we're gonna start taking out this wood molding. Now, make sure when you take out this wood molding, you're not pushing too hard against the wall here, because this is drywall, and you will push your tool right through. So tap it, pull it toward you, tap it, pull it toward you, tap it, pull it toward you, and the whole piece will come off. So ours only goes to here, from the ceiling down. Not gonna be too hard. Hopefully, when we take this molding off, we can pull everything out, use a sawzall and cut all the way down to where we need to be to cut any of those finishing nails that are in there. And then I could go on the outside and get the sawzall inside there and cut all the way down. And we're gonna save this old school molding in wood, and we'll restain that, but that's another video. So let's get on getting this molding off so we can see what we're dealing with back here. We're gonna put this little one in here, and we're going to try to save the molding just for now, in case we wanna put it right back or something happens. So just a little taparooski, tap, tap, tap. If you watch my auto show, you know all about the taparooski. So we're gonna pull it toward us. Tap, tap, pull it toward us. Tap, tap, pull it toward us. Alright, so even this little tiny one is pretty good. And if you don't have it, then use the big one. You might have to change the molding here. So we're gonna use the big one to get down in this bottom little panel. Use some leverage, so I don't hurt my fingers. I've been doing this by myself. And we're gonna do the same. We're gonna stick this piece in. And we're not gonna bend back or forward, we're gonna bend up or down. So we're gonna go like this and bend up. Go like this and bend up. Okay. And that piece of molding is done. And there we go. Now I want you to look at something right now while I have this off. I have to show you in this camera. This is just terrible. Can you see outside? You see that? There's no insulation. So someone put this door up and left this huge gap, and no matter how much you heat this place, it is never going to get warm. Every window and every door on this property that I've been rebuilding has been like this. It's so weird. Spend $8, buy a can of foam and push it in there. Or the hole is so small you can use a caulking gun and just caulk this all the way down. Going with, I would just caulk this closed. It's too small for insulation, and it's really too small. I can't even get my finger in there. I don't know if I could get the straw in there to push some foam tight. I mean, you probably could just go real quick, because it expands so much. You don't want to sit here with it because it'll expand all over the door and everything. You have to cut it all off. So you can see why I'm doing this, correct? How much money are you going to save by filling in this crack when we put the proper door in here? All right, so I'm going to get the rest of these moldings off right here, this other side, to see what we're working with. I'm sure it's open there as well. And then see what we need to do to get this door out. So I want to show you right here. So this is where the door lines up. And then this is the in-between where there was no insulation. So you see the nail right there that goes through? I didn't even find shims in here. So there was a shim in here, a little piece of wood, and then they put the nail through. And there's some I'm gonna get a Sawzall and just go down this. And any of these little nails that are inside here is not too many. Like that one, I'm just gonna Sawzall that through with a metal blade. If you don't have a Sawzall, you can just saw that through with the hand blade. There's maybe 12 I've counted around the whole door which is like 4 on each side and 5 on each side, or something like that, and a couple on the top. There's none on the bottom, you know. So I'm gonna take a regular Sawzall with a metal blade on it, and I'm gonna cut it through. But if you don't have that, you can always use this hand saw. So sometimes I can't get the Sawzall down there, so I have to get the little hand saw and get in there and just, you know, just back and forth, and it'll cut through. So there it is. You're just gonna use the Sawzall and go around that outside line in between the door frame and the frame of the house. You're just gonna cut all those screws or nails all the way down. And by doing that, you're gonna save the wood here so you can reuse this door for another project. And you're gonna save the drywall, and you're gonna save this piece of wood, which is actually attached to your house as part of the framing. If you're in there pulling, doing this, using the claw hammer, using the little crow foot to dig out all these nails, pull these nails through, all you're gonna do is damage stuff. Now you see that I did it here and I did it on the top. I'm gonna go ahead and go here and here, and then I'm gonna go from the outside, because remember that molding is in the way, this piece, and then the whole door is just gonna fall out, and then we're gonna pick up the new door and slide it in and start screwing it in. So right here on the threshold, I ran into a problem where it's down into the cement. These screws are like old school single slot flat head screws, and I can't get them out. I think because they're in the concrete. I don't know. I got to get this piece up. And I don't want to damage this in case we... well, I'm not going to reuse this, but I don't want to damage anything underneath. So I'm gonna grind the top of these off. I mean, I'm a disabled vet. I've had a couple surgeries on my hands, you know, and so we're gonna grind these off. I'm gonna show you how to grind just the heads off so we can get underneath here. And then this whole piece is gonna come up, and then the rest of the door is going to come out. This is the head sticking out here, you know? So as you can see, it's sticking out just a wee little bit, and it's keeping that from on. But then if we look over here, I took the head all the way off down. Might have to go a little deeper on this one. But this one is all the way down flat, so that should just pop straight out. Now I've got a couple more to do. I'm gonna go ahead and do those on my own. So there's 1, 2, 3 left. We got 2 done, and then they should be able to lift up. Once I get these done, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick a wedge under here and pry up so I can pop past these. You don't wanna just think, okay, they're done, and then start pulling the door out, and then this is still connected and the door falls out on top of you or injure somebody else. So always be prepared. So let me get some of this stuff done. Let's fast forward and get this door out. All right, viewers. So we got the door out, but now we got bad news. So I got this bottom plate out. You can see there's an anchor here and an anchor here. And this anchor actually pulled up. So we're just gonna fill that in with some dirt or whatever. We don't need that. But look at this. Oh, water damage. Oh, water damage. Maybe some buggers were having a nest in there or whatever. This gotta go. Cannot put something over this. This is rotten. If you screw your door frame into this, well then I could just push it through in about a year. You see See how nasty this is? So we took this wood and we took the Sawzall and I cut all these little pieces where the molding is connected to the big wood. And we cut all these lag bolts into the cement here. So there's 1, 2, and there was one right here, but I cut it off already. So now what I'm gonna do is the wood stops right here. I'm gonna tear this piece of wood out, and I think that's a 2x6. I'm gonna measure it. Oh, here's a 2x4. It's a little bigger. I don't know how far it goes in. Well, let's tear it apart and see. And we'll be right back. All right, so we got that nasty piece of wood out of there and cleaned everything up. I cut a new 2x6 here out of a scrap piece of wood that I had. So I'm just gonna put it in. And since I have this little open gap, I'm just going to lift it up a little. And that way it has like I'd rather it not touch on the bottom so it doesn't. Screw this in with a masonry screw because of the cement block here. And then we're gonna fit the door in and we're pretty much ready to go. So I have the door mocked up. What it's gonna look like here. I think it's looking great. All right, let me go ahead and put some pilot holes in this with a drill bit and get those screws in so I can get this piece of wood done. And then we're putting this door in. So now I have the door and frame in about where I want it, but there's still a little gap right here. And that's to make sure everything is square. Square means like level. So I'm gonna put some shims in, which are small pieces of wood. Usually they're fatter on one side and skinnier, so you can like break them and feed them in here. I'm gonna get it all to where I want it. All right, so now that we're outside, I did everything I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna put a set screw in. I don't know if you guys can see it right here. I drilled a hole, put one screw in, and I'm gonna do one on the other side because I have it plumb and square. And I already have the shims in, but I want to make sure that when I put the handle in here that the door's going to open and close and it's not going to hit any molding inside. It's not going to hit the floor, like the whole house isn't like a certain way. The foundation is fine underneath, so I want to make sure the door is good. So I'm going to go ahead and do one for you. So I just took a really small drill bit. Make sure that whatever screw you use is larger than the drill bit. See how it covers the drill bit up? This is larger so that these little teeth will grab. So we're just gonna put one like right here, and then we're gonna put it on high speed and drill. Put it on screwdriver setting. High torque. We're going to take the regular Phillips screw. I'm just going to chase that hole in. And we're not going to go too crazy with it because these are not the permanent screws. Anyone could come here with a screwdriver, unscrew this, and pull the whole door down. But these are just like placement screws, set screws, mock-up. Now we can go in. I can put the door handle in, I can put the window in, and I can feel by using the door. If it's good, then we're gonna put the real screws in. Lighting, but the door was big enough that I could put a 1/2-inch runner all the way down here. And now there's no space in there for wind to get through. And on the other side, we only have just under 1/4 of an inch here to where I shimmed the other side in, where you can see out. And I'm gonna try to spray a little bit of foam in there and then put some caulking on and a piece of molding here, and you'll never see this. And the door will be completely done. So I put the handle in and the door opens and closes with no problem. So it works great. It looks great. Let's check it out from the outside so we can see the difference. So we got the locks on, and if you want to see how to do, do these locks, I'll have another video for that as well. But it really made a difference in the apartment. Really made a difference. So now the only thing left I have to do is drill a couple of holes, put a couple of screws in, and I'm set to go. So this is the last thing that we have to do. I drilled some holes through here. And I did cat a corner, so when the door is closed, some are on the inside, so you can never get to those screws. And then I put some on the outside to balance it out. If they're all on one side, you don't want the door to go this way. You have to be even. So I did a pilot screw, and then I'm going to use the drill here, but we're going to use this Torx head, because not too many people have these. They're deck screws. So these are galvanized, and you see the teeth are really kind of aggressive, and see they're cut in the middle. I don't want these to ever back out. I don't want anyone to be able to use it. And you see how big this is. It's going way through everything into the house. No one's gonna be able to break into the home. So we're just gonna go ahead and set those and set them in flat. And then I just want it to be flat right here. You know, so maybe just the littlest bit in. And then what I'm gonna do is I'll put a little putty right there, wood putty over it, and I'll paint it, or I'll just paint these when I paint the whole thing white, and then it'll blend in, and then I can always take them out. Someone could come with the drill and take these ones out, the 3 that I'm gonna put on the outside, but the 4 on the inside, they can never get to. You would have to open the door. So what's the point of taking these out if you can open the door? So I do all the doors like this for extra security. So hopefully this gives you an extra little tip when putting your door in to be safe. So this is how you put a door into your home, or whatever you want, you know. If you do this for somebody else, you can make a couple of bucks, start your own construction company. But how's about a thumbs up and a like and a subscribe? We're gonna start doing more of this since it's cold. I like doing construction in the cold. So thanks for your time. We love you all, and we're out. Oopsie.